Forward number 26, Danny Burko. Defender number 33, Pepe. Defender number 80, Pablo da Silva. Forward number 88, Nestor Hernandez. Number 92, Jer Gibson. And our player, head coach, forward, number 79, Everton. On the bench, assistant coach, Tony Shelby. Goalkeeping coach is Mark Litton. Our game night head coach is Jamie Swanner. Equipment manager, Kyle the Goose Rudy. And Mercy Athletic trainer is Jacob Tanner. Ladies and gentlemen, your St. Louis Ambush. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the singing of God Bless America by the 5th and 6th graders at St. Charles Borromeo Catholic School. Let's hear it for the 5th and 6th graders from St. Charles Borromeo Catholic School. Well done, kids. At this time, we now honor America and celebrate its freedom and those who protect it. Continue standing as one nation and one people for the playing of our national anthem performed by the Hardin Middle School Band and Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Well, let's hear it for the Hardin Middle School Band and Choir. Well done, kids.
Well, it's going to be a snowy night here in St. Louis, but before that, we have a divisional MASL matchup between the Cedar Rapids Rampage and the St. Louis Ambush. I'm Patrick Kettle alongside Matt Bird, and Matt, very promising game for the Ambush last night. Not only are they able to get the win, but they're able to hold the lead almost throughout their entire fourth quarter. I think that performance has been coming for a long time, Patrick. They just managed to get over that mental block. You know, they managed to close out a game, and much deserved, I feel, much deserved. And, you know, I think you look back on the season, you know, a couple of tie games against Harrisburg, a couple of tie games against Milwaukee, and you know, even the last couple of times we played in KC and when we played them here, you know, you look back on the season, you think coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know, but that game hopefully has given this club a massive boost going forward, and they know they can compete. We've said that for the last couple of weeks. We know we can compete. But it's just a lack of focus. You know, we spoke to the coaches before the last game, and they just said it was just little lapses of concentration here and there have cost them big. But last night, I mean, they went into the third period, and we've always shown that the third period's been our Achilles' heels. But we actually won the third period yesterday. You know, we took a 1-0 lead in the third period, and you know, I think that set the Ambush up going for the win, and but now they have to do it again. You know, it's all very well winning on the road, but when you've got 2,500 to 3,000 people here tonight, you've got to send them home happy too. Yes, you do. As Cedar Rapids got a little bit of a help from the Ambush last night. They are going up against KC for the playoff spot. Their magic number is currently 2 to get that final playoff spot in the division. It's kind of bizarre because Cedar Rapids wanted us to win last night, and now the Kansas City Comets want us to win tonight. So we certainly can play spoilers, and I was watching the broadcast from KC yesterday, and they were quite amazed that the Ambush team went there without much to play for, honestly, gave them an absolute battle. You know, and I think that's testament to the coaching squad that they've got this team still ready to play. Every night they have to come out and bring it. They have to give these fans something to cheer for. And this season has been better than last season. I mean, but incremental improvements. You know, they're not, even when they've lost games, they've not been blown out. I mean, I think that's testament to Everton and Mark and Jamie and Tony, that every day this team's come ready to play, that the results quite haven't been there, the focus hasn't quite been there, but every game has been an improvement, and I think that's what the ownership group wants to see. Certainly do, as this is a bit of a preview of what the Ambush fans have to look forward to next season. A team that's going to compete in every game, play a complete game, and really take off those big teams that are your rivals. Absolutely, and you know, Cedar Rapids are one of our rivals. Everton came to us from Cedar Rapids. You know, a bunch of other players have come to us from Cedar Rapids. We've sent players to them. They came into this league a couple of years ago and hit the ground running. They've made the playoffs a couple of years running now, and I think they'll probably make the playoffs again this year. They're what the Ambush should be. You know, we've got to get to their level, and tonight will be quite a marker to find out exactly where we are. Starting goalie for the Rampage will be Reiniger. The Brazilian in the last game, a 6-4 loss to Syracuse. Stopped 7 of 13 shots. Cedar Rapids is going to start with the ball. House far out of his net and gives it over to Sandoval. They're just going to work on solid possession to start this game. Pushed up very high to begin with here, Patrick. And they've got, Cedar Rapids have to think we're going to come into tonight's game kind of tired. It's a very similar lineup for the Ambush as of last night. I think the only change is Nestor Hernandez maybe in the team from last night. And the Ambush battled last night. Let's not kid ourselves. They gave it 100% for the entire 60 minutes. It'd be interesting to see exactly what that took out of this team. So I suspect the Ambush are going to kind of start slowly, let Cedar Rapids do the majority of the running early doors, try and contain them, and try and hit them on the break. Talking to Coach Mike Linton before the game, one of the big things he talked about is playing a disciplined and complete game, but also keeping Cedar Rapids off the board as long as possible. The further the lead you get against this team, the more you're going to cause them to panic. We've not had much of a chance to put that to practice against Cedar Rapids. Our one lone home win this year was against Cedar Rapids, but when they've taken us up to Iowa, they've kind of taken us to the woodshed a bit. But we know we can compete with this team. We even beat them in preseason, so we just have to do it again, you know? The ambush cleared into the corner. It was Kostakis trying to center towards the middle. That goes into the netting. It'll be Cedar Rapids ball.
Hey fans, time to purchase your season ticket.
So under 2 minutes
Some
into
ambush
this
gear,
game.
stop by the merchandise stand near section 121.
Also handed off
You can
and
also
pressure
purchase
being
bags
put on
of
by
apples
Daniel Burko.
for these Snooks
Gonna
Happen
force
Farm
to give it
win
away.
a
Long boot all the way
$100
down.
large Snooks.
Gonna find Osvaldo Rojas, but he couldn't settle that before it bounced out of bounds. And right away, St. Louis will take back over.
Nice easy game for us to call tonight. One team in black, the other team in white. Numbers are quite big, names are big.
gotta like that.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in your black jersey, Cedar Rapids.
As Paulo has a lot of space to work with. He's gonna move forward and
You know
use
he's
it.
gonna have a shot.
He gets a shot, stays on the ground, misses everything though as there's traffic in front. Now Daniel Burko grabs it. Well, throws it back to Axel Duarte.
If Burko would have got a touch on that shot, he would have deflected it in.
It looks like what Paulo was looking for as he sends it towards the middle of the net. Nobody could get a hold of it though. Cedar Rapids clears it back to midfield. Being tied up is Rojas. And a foul called on the ambush. Cedar Rapids quickly restarts. Huffman
Ambush foul number
back
3,
to
Robert
the keeper.
Costa, his first.
Now the Brazilian will move past the midfield mark. Moves his team around a bit as the ambusher putting no pressure on House. He's going to step up, takes a shot, blocked immediately by Adamson, high up in the air, headed and kept in by the ambush. Now House tries to clear it into the corner. Costa rather got the inside on that, able to steal the ball, throw it forward. JT is going to have a race for it. Goes up against the keeper. He beat him there, but he was knocked up against the boards. And JT is down in some pain as we're going to have a blue card on the Rampage.
Well done, James Thomas. Played his fourth game last night for the ambush. Scored 4 goals now. He's come in and really taken his opportunity as JT. Good goal last night against KC. And on the second attempt, the first attempt was blocked, and he had the presence of mind just to stick with it and finish it after the goalie rebound.
The goalkeeper, Ryder House, 2 minutes for boarding. And now the ambush will go on a Patamans, New York.
Heiner House gets the penalty. Mario Alvarez will serve the penalty for the Rampage as St. Louis will get the early power play opportunity. Almeida starts right here, passing it to Everton. Everton goes down to the corner. As Pablo rather back in the corner. Kostakis spins around, tries to throw it in front. Gibson was there, then Gibson heads it back out. Trying to get to Everton. A nice heads-up play by Hurwitz to push it forward. And Almeida keeps it in the zone. Now Pablo racing back in. He has Almeida and he'll use him. Almeida, cut to the middle. Back and forth they go, now over to Everton. Now Pablo. In the corner, Kostakis trying to knock it off the boards. And it goes back, one-timer by Everton. That goes wide off the
Everton
boards.
just looking for that upper 90 there, where to curl it in around the keeper, and just a way off. But you know he'll find his range for next time.
To the players prior to each game. Treat yourself to a massage and visit
House being
massage.
pressured by
Conveniently
Corey
located on
Adamson,
Big River's
able
Mall
to
Drive.
lift it over his head. And Almeida's there to steal it from Gerson.
The ambush know all about Cody Gerson. He played around 20 games for the ambush a couple of years ago. Prolific goal scorer, absolutely prolific. You know, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got that low center of gravity and he can fling his body around and he knows where the goal is.
Everton and Almeida go back and forth. As Gibson had a chance. Threw it towards the net, easy save by House. And running forward, taken down is Hurwitz. That's going to be a foul as he almost had a breakaway. That's going to be a blue card on the ambush.
Didn't think there was much there. I thought the Rapids player knew he was being caught, but the referee's obviously a lot closer than we are and decided that was blue card worthy. He was off to the races, but I think he was going to be caught by the defender, and I think it's a penalty shot also.
It will as Almeida heads to the box.
Because number 10, Lucas Almeida, 2 minutes for
Playing
pushing.
4-on-4. As Gerson's going to have a free kick.
If I was a betting man, I would put my mortgage money on Gerson finishing this. He, as I said, he is prolific. You know my commentator kiss of death, so if I say he's going to score, then he'll obviously sky it.
Paulo could come up big here As Gerson gets set, looks back at his teammates one last time as the ambush make a couple more changes.
Attention fans, we have a correction on the penalty.
And might be a correction as DJ Prue might be telling Almeida to head out of the box by chance. As the referees will discuss it and heading over to the individual benches. And looks like we're good. Almeida stays in the box and Gerson is set. Gerson not quite sure, waiting as Hurwitz jumped a little bit. Now they'll let him go. Gerson waiting, has Hurwitz, over to Hurwitz, shot just wide of the net. And Paulo gets the crowd going here at the Family Arena.
Didn't quite understand that. Let's just run up and shoot, accept the shot yourself. I mean, Gerson has to have faith in himself that he can beat a goalie one-on-one.
Is he like the one-timer just a tad better?
I guess I must work well against the Cones in training that play, but here we are in real life and it didn't work so well.
And Sandoval starts it for the Rampage over to House, and the ambush step back, no pressure put forward so far. So now Alvarez is out of the box. And now Cedar Rapids will have a minute 10 on the power play as they make some changes. Sandoval will sit on the ball.
Last two games, though, the Ambush have scored two short-handed goals through Dylan Hundelt.
Not just that, but killed off a big 5-on-3 a couple games ago.
Absolutely. I mean, that was yeoman's work, what those three guys did. I think it was Acosta, Schmerman, and Hundelt put in on the defense.
It's Sandoval at the top. He has France to his right. He goes over to the far left for Hurwitz. Back down low. Loose ball in front. France races in. It just getting it out of the way in time. Then the shot comes forward. And a block, but Pepe is down after making a big block. Just beating France to the ball.
And another blue card, I think this time against Victor France.
And we have a 2-minute penalty against the Cedar Rapids Rampage.
Pepe gets up.
Number 15,
another
France.
blue card, the third one called so far this game. This time it'll go once again against Cedar Rapids. You said, I believe it's against Victor France, and there goes Victor over to the penalty box.
New York.
I have to be honest, I know we just showed a replay. I didn't see much there, to be honest. Victor France was calling for the referees to look at the video board, but it's all in vain as he heads to the box for 2 minutes. Busy first 6 minutes for the referees.
His whistles are getting some work as it goes down to Gibson in the corner. For that to Pepe and push back to Pablo.
A lot of space on this field now with 4-on-4.
Still 4-on-4 for 10 seconds. Almeida comes out. He's just about to get ready. Everton over to Pablo. They're just going to hold onto the ball until they get one of their leaders back as they will. Almeida immediately start to race down towards the goal. Instead, Pablo stays with it. Adamson comes on for the ambush. Now Lucas Almeida to Everton. They have Gibson in the corner. And they'll use Gibson. Back to Everton. And back out Almeida. Now Pablo cuts to the middle. Adamson the shot. Great save by House. And Gibson raced for that. Still high up in the air. Sandoval heads it forward. The ambush will keep possession in their offensive end. Coach Everton to Pablo. Pablo over to a wide open Almeida. Try to feed it through to Gibson. Now Everton off the glass. Heads up in front and a goal. That might have gone off Gibson or a Rampage player, but regardless, it's 1-0.
It was a great heads-up play by JJ Gibson. It was a one-timer off the board by Everton, and Gibson was way alone. Just had the presence of mind just to nod it past Heine Rouse. I'm going to get Reiner Heine mixed up all game. But either way, he's picking the ball out of the back of the net, and it's 1-0 to the ambush.
Great header that was by Gibson.
Let's go, his 12th of the season. Scored by number
Everton
92,
was wide open up,
George
one-timer.
Gibson.
And a quick timeout called. We will take a break. Ambush up 1-0. You are watching MASL TV.
Andorra & Sons got started in 1956. The name came after my mom and dad, Andy and Dorothy. We have 5 different cheeses that make up the Provel. So it's very unique in what we have. Our sauce, we still to this day make a spice pack that goes into our sauce that makes that unique to anyone else out there. The quality of the product you're gonna find out is unlike any other pizza out there. It's gonna be as good as any homemade pizza, if not better, that you've tried.
I'm over here in section 119, and I've got Bushwhacker with me, and we have a delicious, hot and ready Andorra & Son pizza. Who wants this pizza? Oh, Bushwhacker is looking for loud, happy people who maybe want the pizza. Bushwhacker says you guys can get louder. Can you get louder? He's pointing. He says, move out of the way, guys. He's pointing right here to this group of girls. Congratulations, you get a delicious Andorra & Sons pizza.
Back at the Family Arena as the Ambush lead 1-0 off a one-timer header by Scherzer Gibson, his 12th of the year. Puts the Ambush in front. Very important first goal the Ambush need to just keep riding that winning streak.
It's still early days, though. I mean, there's going to be a lot of tops coming and going, I think, in this game. I think Cedar Rapids, they know they're coming in here knowing they need to keep winning, to keep their playoff hopes alive and keep pace ahead of the Comets. But they're not coming in here having an easy game either. I think the Ambush proved that yesterday when they went to the Comets and took the game to them that, you know, if the Comets are going to get anything today, they're going to have to absolutely work for it. A big restart here for them also.
The Ambush will get a 3-man wall set up. Couple of movement going around. A good save by Paulo as he stopped Alex Bradley. Now Burko moving forward into 2-0. Danny Burko has JT with him with a lot of speed. Comes in. Oh, he's loose and he just couldn't pull the trigger in time as he hit the boards. Boy, did he have all the options in the world there.
Did he? And, you know, you've got to think he made the wrong decision right at the death. He just a heavy touch there, just took it too wide. JT was calling for it, but Burko made the chance. Burko with 2 rebounds off the boards to get away from the Cedar Rapids defense. He made the chance, he took it. He got the shot on target. It was a good save by House. But he did, in hindsight, he did have better options, but he made the chance himself. Why not take it?
Everybody clap your hands.
The Rampage quickly the other way.
I also have to say what a great save by Paulo just before that to even set the opportunity up.
Just got over and just barely got his knee on it. So he was sliding over just on the ground. It's Alvarez going back and forth between him and Huffman. Huffman under some pressure from JT over to Alvarez. And coming out of his net is House. House with a lot of space, looking like he's going to shoot. He does right on Paulo. Easy save for him as he moves up to Burko. Now Burko under some pressure. Through the legs, finds JT, and it's a 3-on-2 the other way.
Schmerman racing up the left-hand side here.
JT can't win the race to the ball in the corner. Cedar Rapids trying to clear it out of their own end. Moving it up to Gerson, then over to this side for Rojas. They're going to get solid possession as both teams are making some changes in the Ambush. Back off a bit. Letting Huffman move forward. Sends a long boot up, just got a piece of a Rampage player, but Adamson will be on that loose ball. He moves it up the boards for Pepe. Pepe told wide open Everton. Everton tried to cut to the middle, lost possession. Cedar Rapids quickly moving north now.
You got time Everton there to get a shot away, and he just kind of tried to take a touch. Oof.
And one-timer by Gerson hits the glass above the net. Pepe has Hernandez and Everton with him. They'll use Hernandez, Everton on the far side. And Almeida coming in, a one-time shot. Good save by House. Pepe. Pepe through the legs and a hand save by House.
It's just amazing, Patrick, the morale that has been improved since that win last night. The Ambush have started where they left off last night. They're playing with a little swagger, a little self-belief, a little self-confidence. You know, they're taking shots. And I know that, you know, sounds like Captain Obvious there, they're taking shots because that's what you do to win. But, you know, we saw early in the season they were kind of afraid to shoot. They were afraid to just, even if you're not going to get it on target, you're going to get a rebound off the keeper, off the post, off the boards, off the glass. You know, and we saw that with Everton's shot to set up Gibson. Everton shot right off the boards, straight to Gibson, and it's in the back of the net. And then they're taking a lot more shots, and they're making more opportunities, and it's really great to see. And it, again, just a case of coulda, woulda, shoulda earlier in the season.
Hurwitz is in the box there. Cedar Rapids. Ambush once again on the man advantage. It's Everton going back and forth between him and Gibson. That ball's deflected, but the Ambush keep possession. Over to Pablo. Everton's wide open at the top. Now to Gibson. Gibson the one-timer and a save by House. Now Everton the shot. He scores!
Well, he absolutely put his laces through that one. Don't need to see a replay to tell you what happened there. It was Gibson with his shot. Rebounded back to Everton. It's kind of like Gibson was repaying Everton for his earlier goal, and Everton from pretty much the top of the D put his laces through it and smashed it past House.
Huge goal for the Ambush as they take the 2-goal lead. That's going to be Everton's 10th on the year as he pushes his team even further in front.
And the Ambush are going to need this. They're going to need some daylight because Cedar Rapids are going to come. Just like last night, you know, the Ambush went 4-0 ahead, and then the Comets started slugging back at the lead and got it within 2, got it within 1, got it within 2. You know, so the Ambush are going to need some daylight, and the Ambush are going to tire late on, having played last night, so they need some daylight.
And missed steal by the Ambush as the Rampage keep it in the Ambush end. And a Cedar Rapids player goes
another blue card
down. The refs really like showing that blue card so far tonight, not even out of the first quarter.
Is that a 5th?
We'll have quite another penalty. Yes, it is.
Ambush, 2-minute penalty, number 20.
It's going to go up against Daniel Burko.
But you know what? The ref is at least being consistent. And the players have to be smarter than that. They know that anytime you push a player in the boards, he's going to get a blue card at this point. You know, you have to be smarter than that. And Danny can complain all he wants, but the refs have at least been consistent. And now it's the Ambush that are up against it.
It's Gerson getting set for Cedar Rapids. They'll just move it back to Sandoval. House pretty far of his net, but not in the offensive end quite yet as the ball is moved over to Victor France on the near side. France down in the corner and back up top. Under some pressure. He's going to give it over to Sandoval. Now in the corner, Gerson. And he's doing a nice job of holding this box as it goes back out to Victor France. Over to a wide open Gerson. Now France fakes the shot down in the corner, back to France. Takes the shot this time, that goes a little wide, hits the glass.
We're not going to miss Victor France in a hurry with that hair job that he got. He didn't have that blonde streak when he was playing here earlier on in the season.
He didn't. I saw him down low. I'm like, I know that guy. He looks familiar, but the hair, I just made him unrecognizable. The Ambush doing a nice job of blocking that in front. Cedar Rapids still under some danger. That was Gerson with a shot blocked in front by the Ambush. Now Victor has a chance. That's blocked by Dylan Hundell.
And Hundell's off. Can he make it 3 short-handed goals in 3?
He goes up against House, and they make a big collision. It's going to be a blue card. They're saying it's
Cedar
Hundell.
Rapids?
They're pointing at Hundell as Pepe immediately ran over to the ref and started screaming at him. This is going to be a tripping call. That really could have been a 50-50 ball. Both men going in there very quickly.
The ball was there to be won.
Just a big-time collision.
Ambush, 2-minute penalty, number 25, Dylan Hundelt. 2 minutes for tripping.
And Hundelt can't understand that.
And the ambush remain on
Here's a sight to the ambush we're used to last game. Or 2 games ago, last home game, you could say. Dylan Hundelt and Burko in the box. A 5-on-3 advantage for the Rampage. This house is still down on the field.
Well, it's been eventful. This has been quite the first quarter.
House limping a little bit. He's going to try
One
and
of the
stay in
biggest
this game, and
things
he
for me
will.
is my family. I'm doing the 12-week challenge. My whole family motivated me, and I think that's a huge part of my success. In 12 weeks,
I mean, both players were committed. He's on the far side of the field from where we are. I couldn't tell you if it was a foul. I couldn't tell you if Dylan went in too hard or what happened there, but he is struggling in his Heiner house.
Let me see those muscles.
He's going to be the one starting with the ball. He's just going to tap it right to his defenseman. Move back towards his goals. It's Sandoval. Big 5-on-3 advantage for the Rampage. Gerson down in the corner. Up to France. Over to Sandoval. Sandoval over to this side. No, to the far side. Victor France tried to go off the boards. Good block by the ambush. Knock it back out. Sandoval now. He has Bradley in the corner. They go back and forth. Blocked by the legs of Corey Adamson. Now he almost gets on it. As now Victor France takes over. Gives it to Huffman. Huffman to Sandoval. Sandoval takes the shot just wide. Now Burko's out of the box. He comes racing in as it goes over. Huffman the chip. Good save by Paulo. Just over 2 to play as he heaves that forward, trying to find Burko. Sandoval the easy header to keep it in the Rampage possession.
Big minute this, because if the ambush can get out of this first half without conceding after this 5-on-3, 5-on-4 penalty.
Down low, Gerson to France. France the sidekick, and he gets the goal on the far side, and he narrows the ambush lead to 1.
It was coming though. I mean, it's difficult to go 5-on-3 for a minute and then 5-on-4. It's difficult. You know, at some point you're going to get breached.
Hundelt immediately leaving the box to ask for an explanation on his penalty.
To the video boards, the ambush partner with CycleBar. CycleBar is providing bikes for training, and the players are utilizing them.
1:43 left. Victor France, the former ambush player, playing earlier this year with the ambush.
And
we a 1-goal game.
We know he's dangerous. We know he can score. I thought he was the ambush's biggest offensive threat earlier on in the season.
I think it's shown there in that entire power play chance for the Rampage. He's just all over the ball, all over the field. He finds the place to go to get the open shot. Paul's going to step forward with it. Now at the yellow line, the shot hits off the boards. He's going to have to race back as the Rampage looking to catch him off guard. They're not going to be able to as Rojas grabs it for the Rampage. And Bradley just going to settle it down. Moves over to this side for Edwin Rojas. We have Edwin Rojas and Osvaldo Rojas, both Mexicans on this Rampage club.
I'm afraid to make a mistake with the commentary ourselves. We might get a blue card the way the referee's flashing them around.
Well, they can look easily up here and give it to us as Everton tried the block. That just barely hit the post. Still loose in front. Stepping forward is Huffman. Now shooting forward, Kostakis. He has Everton trying to lead it for him, but Everton cannot win the race there as Huffman's going to get there first, bounces off the glass, pinballs around, and finds the Rampage on the far side.
I think Everton would just run out of gas there. He's putting a big shift. You know, we played last night.
It was just shot wide by Gerson. Now Edwin Rojas up against the boards against Hundelt. Throws it back to Sandoval. Now House and Sandoval with Gibson pressuring. Finds the open man. House at the yellow line, takes the shot, stays on the ground, deflected in.
Gordigus, and I said he knows where the goal is. And he's prolific. I mean, he can do that. He knows where the goal is. He just a slight flick, and it's in the back of the net. You know, with 4.4 seconds left in this game, in this first period, and we're all tied up.
And House knew how much time he had left to get this off. Gerson, just a beautiful deflection.
Rampage goal, score by number
And that's what he's very, very good at.
20th.
Beautiful redirection. Knew exactly where that was going to go. Caught Paul off guard. And we have a tie game with just seconds left in this first quarter. The ambush will just clear it in. House will grab it. And that will end the first quarter of play as the ambush got out to an early 2-goal lead. And the Rampage come back in tied at 2. We will be right back for the second quarter. You're watching MASL TV.
Would like to recognize served in our armed forces. If you are a veteran or are serving in the National Guard or active duty, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, help the ambush to thank these men and women for their courage, bravery, dedication, and love of our country.
Fans, here is your chance to enter the
Back at the Family Arena for a tie game heading into the second quarter of play. The ambush jumped up to the early lead, tied immediately, but the talk of the first quarter, I'd say, is 6 blue cards called in just 15 minutes.
Are you sure it was 6? Might have been 8, might have been 9. I lost count after about 4. As again, I don't want to criticize referees because it is the hardest job in the world, and you know, you're never going to make people happy. At least the ref was consistent. I will say that much, you know. And the players have to be smarter than that. They know that he's going to call everything that crashes into the board, so don't do it.
There were back-to-back boarding calls against both teams. Most of the first quarter played short-handed. Hernandez races over, nice hustle to get to that ball. He grabs possession, going to the corner. briefly loses it, then picks it back up again, and back to his defense for Pepe. Pepe goes all the way back. Paulo have to quickly give that ball off. He toes it high in the air. Everton reached up to try and head that one, but Huffman had the height advantage, was able to get that ball easily. Now Gibson comes out to go up against Huffman.
Yeah, I bet he does. He's seen the height advantage, and he's like, I'm having some of that.
He's immediately given down. Alvaro Rojas goes off the boards, finds Alvarez. Alvarez tried to send it to the middle. No one was home, though, for Cedar Rapids, so Huffman takes over. Huffman and Sandoval will all go back and forth. And back to House.
I think all the momentum's with Cedar Rapids right now. You know, they two quick goals to knock this game up, and they're going to think that, ball right across the face of goal there. Just, I think it caught everyone by surprise, but I think Cedar Rapids have the momentum now, and the Ambush just need a good, positive phase of play where they keep the foot on the ball for a good 2 minutes and kind of find their feet and stamp some authority on this game again.
Rampage keeping solid possession as Gerson knocks off the boards in front. Pablo was there for the ambush. And a second chance throws in by Alvarez, but that missed everything. Now goes over to Huffman. Huffman back up top for Arriaga. Now Huffman goes up against Hundell, tried to go far side, just barely kissed the post.
Yeah, that ball had a bit more curl on it. That would be nestling in the bottom corner right now. I think Paolo had it covered, but it was an excellent shot by Huffman.
Now House out of his net. Almeida the only man for the ambush, pressuring the D and the goalkeeper for the Rampage. Now out comes Hundell. Hundell gets a nice block. Now Almeida up to Dylan Hundell with an empty netter. Off the boards, and he gets the goal. Dylan Hundell gets the lead.
And I talk about how prolific JT's been in the last 4 games. That's his 3rd goal in 3 games for Dylan Hundell too. I don't know, I think he's kind of let himself down there because that goal wasn't short-handed though.
And Hundell manages to get his 4th of the year. Takes the momentum back in the ambush side.
He just picked House's pocket there. And he just went all the way. Nice, cool finish. I mean, he was under pressure. The goal was gaping, but there was still a defender breathing down his neck, and he just managed to, you know, keep a calm head and just slot it right on home.
Ambush go-ahead goal, his 4th of the season, scored by number 25.
Will have to answer.
Dylan Hundell.
Sandoval goes down to Victor France, immediately pressured by Axel Duarte. France steps forward, though. That shot goes a bit too high into the netting. Ambush take over.
Francis complaining that he was pulled back there, and I think he might have had a case, but...
Paul hesitates a bit, tried to find JT, instead headed high up in the air by Cedar Rapids, then headed further by Axel. They will find Rampage possession in their own end. Sandoval in front of the penalty box, down to Victor France. France thought about passing it further. Instead throws it to Hurwitz. Hurwitz cut across the middle, but Hundelt's all over him and he has to throw it back. We'll pass over to Victor France. France up against Duarte, takes the shot, goes just wide on the short side. Now France grabs possession again. Tried to find Rojas, stolen by Danny Burko. Burko with a long boot tried to catch House out of his net again. Instead, that goes into the netting.
Why not? Have a go, Danny Burko.
Yeah, JT streaking to the left, starting to move forward. Could have been a 2-on-1. The ambush made wholesale changes. Rampage take over.
For your winter pest prevention needs.
And so much for me saying the Rampage had all the momentum. Since I said that, the ambush have had 2 real good opportunities and managed to capitalize on one of them. But every time they come forward, the Rampage do look dangerous. And House, despite having his pocket picked last time, he still comes forward quite a ways out of his goal.
I'm still getting used to him wearing a short sleeve shirt as a goalkeeper. He just looks like a fan that ran out onto the field randomly. There's a shot by Cedar Rampage. Cedar Rapids goes just wide. Everton trying to move it further to Hernandez. Taken back by Cedar Rapids. They take a shot blocked in front by Adamson.
Good block by Corey.
Ball bouncing around here, very dangerous for St. Louis as it gets moved back to Gurney. Send the ball back to House. And Mario Alvarez fresh off the bench. Gives it in the corner for Rojas. It's knocked away. And it's back out for Arriaga. Arriaga off the glass. No one was there though for Cedar Rapids. Comes back out for Alvarez. Alvarez with less than 10 to play, takes a shot. Great save by Powell. Still loose the shot, and it's a tie game once again.
Arriaga with the goal. Good finish.
FIBA Arriaga makes it 3-3 off the one-timer. A bouncing ball, able to settle, or not really settle, but gets a good one-timer. It's
Good
beats
finish.
Paulo, who had to just jump all around, keeping up with that ball. Step in. Great initial save by Paulo.
Yeah, he just couldn't get up and get himself set in time. And Arriaga knew that. He just a snap shot. Good volley. Got plenty of power behind it. And Paulo just trying to get himself ready from the initial shot. He just couldn't do much about it.
Here tonight representing the Missouri Rush 3v3 tournament.
Once again, tied up at this time at 3. Victor Franson in his own end under some pressure from Almeida. Gets it by Gibson. But Hundal keeps it back for the ambush. Pepe tried to pass to Gibson. Now Gibson takes it. Gibson, the shot blocked in front by his former teammate Victor France. Almeida pushing off Arriaga. Tried to get it to Gibson. That's going to be
Cedar Rapids ball.
Could be out of bounds. There's all those fans right on those boards. If the ball touches them, that's automatically called out of play. So it will be House starting with it. Goes up to Alvarez and back to House as Hundal and Gibson are pressuring. Let's move forward. That's Bradley. Bradley trying to get around Almeida, and Almeida fought hard, able to take possession from that and just tosses it down for House to take.
Oh no, we've been, what, 12 minutes now without a blue card? What's going on, Patrick?
Yeah, I think someone might be wrong down there. Maybe they lost their blue cards. They used it so much that they just misplaced them at one point. Almeida tries to clear it out. First attempt doesn't work, then the second attempt by Pepe couldn't get it to go either. As Rojas keeps it in, throws it towards the middle. Huffman has to step up. Tries a shot that was blocked immediately. Then headed to the corner, Gibson grabs it. And Gibson moving forward down the right wing. Pulls up at the midfield line. Just give it back to Pepe. Ambush making some changes. Everybody except Pepe changed, and now Pepe will go off for a change after he gave it to Paulo, and Pablo's out for St. Louis. Adamson down for Danny Burko. Burko has to get around one man, now two. He splits between them, try to get it over to Kostakis, but it bounced off the boards right to House.
Been very impressed with Danny Burko since he come back into the lineup. Little bag of energy. Played really well last night. He's been all over this field the first half here.
Lance went up against Pablo, got the shot up, went off the glass. Good save by Paulo. Him and Kostakis go back and forth, now lifted forward, not far enough though. The Rampage take over, trying to get to France. Too far for him though. He grabbed by Paulo. Up to Kostakis. Kostakis cuts to the middle. Weaves between two Rampage players. And over to Robert Acosta. Nestor Hernandez off the bench, down to Everton. Everton trying to get around two Rampage players. He's knocked down. That's going to be a foul on Cedar Rapids. And Everton doing a great job. Immediately.
Well, Gerson knew what he was doing there. He was getting in the way of the quick free kick. And Everton just banged it against him. I mean, he can't complain. He knew what he was doing, Gordy.
Well, he knew it was a little trick Everton's using. Everton knows, yeah, you got to get that ball off quickly, just immediately knock it off the opposing player. Now Everton with the free kick, shoots it, save in front, header, and it's a goal! Robert Acosta.
It's very rare, as I say, it's very rare you see a header in a headed goal, let alone two. I mean, that's Robert Acosta now with the second headed goal after Georgia's effort in the ambush take the lead again. Good save again, initial good first save.
That's been the story of the game for these goalies. They're making great initial saves.
Yeah.
However, defensively, both teams are just struggling to get the ball out.
Of the season, scored by number 3, Robert Acosta.
Acosta gets a towel, misses with that first throw, and will just hand it off. As they'll head over to the timeout as he gives his team the lead. Once again, it's 4-3, St. Louis in front. We'll be right back here watching MASL TV.
Soccer ball shuffle. Get this, Lily. If you get it right, everybody in section 102 gets a free appetizer to Texas Roadhouse O'Fallon. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, check out one of these boards. We're going to get the soccer balls up there. There's the soccer ball. It's going behind that middle one, and they shuffle around. Lily wants some help. Which one is it?
1.
Lily says it's number 1. Is she right? Congratulations! Everybody in section 102 gets a Texas Roadhouse appetizer from the O'Fallon location. Give me a go ambush.
Go ambush.
Gate entrance in section
Ambush would like to thank MITRE USA for providing today's match balls. MITRE, founded in Huntersville, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production in 1817. MITRE is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and MITRE share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. MITRE's AstroTurf Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. MITRE's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it more efficient in arena play. There's Patrick Kelly and Matt Bird with you back on the call after Robert Acosta gets his first goal of the season to make it 4-3 for the ambush halfway through this second quarter.
Really glad that Acosta scored that as well. You know, I mean, he had that unfortunate incident in the game against KC here 2 weeks ago when, you know, he kind of scored that own goal. So I'm kind of glad he's made amends for that. Yeah, and it was a good finish, good heads-up play, and after House made a fantastic save initially, again, he was he just couldn't get himself up and set in time, just like Paolo on the Arriaga goal that preceded it.
Axel and Paulo go back and forth. Now Paulo to Lucas Almeida. Nobody on Paulo as he has some space to move forward, just walking forward. And gives it over to Richard Schmerman. Schmerman takes a long boot. That goes high off the glass. Almeida gets the rebound, sends it off the boards. That may have hit the apron though as it goes high in the air. Rampage still with it in their own end and able to clear it out. St. Louis keeping possession though. Paulo has to race forward. Schmerman does a nice job of heading it. And it's taking Gerson. Gerson off the post. Rampage with it. In their offensive end, House moves forward. Dylan Hunt up pressuring him. And given over to Osvaldo Rojas. Rojas gave it towards the middle. Then taken by Gibson. Gibson takes a clearing attempt. And a nice spinorama by Gibson, able to move the ball forward. Lucas Almeida now alone in the corner. Almeida tried the shot, but that ball was bouncing. Goes high over the net. Almeida will have to race back as a couple Rampage players slip. He's able to steal possession.
Good passage of play this for the Ambush. They kind of controlled the play, even though the Rapids have had the ball a couple of times. The Ambush have managed to win it back quite easily, and have, well, not quite sure what happened there between Pablo and Gerson.
The collisions in this game have been one of the key points, I'd say.
I'm gonna have to wait on a replay just to see what happened there. It kind of happened off the ball, but Gerson fell over like a sack of potatoes, and Pablo's very upset.
And Pablo's gonna have to back off. They've warned him a couple times if he wants to stay in this game. As the refs are talking over with the assistant officials in the penalty box. Gerson's still down, now he gets up.
And Pablo got the blue card.
And he gets his explanation, heads to the box. The Ambush will once again.
Now, I can't
Yeah,
lip
the
read
penalty
Portuguese, but I would say that Pablo is very upset.
I would too, and I don't exactly know what they were saying, but he has to be careful, definitely. If he's going to keep approaching them,
Yeah.
referees are not going to take too well to that.
I would like to see a replay as what happened.
It's going to be the Rampage are going to get to restart at the top. Ambush making some changes. They will once again be down a man.
I mean, fair play to the refs. They went and conferred about it. I don't think the refs on the field saw it, but it was very close to the referees off the field, and they went and conferred, and they decided that Pablo was guilty as charged.
Go to gkunion.com.
I thought we were going to get through an entire quarter there without a blue card, but
At least it's just one this time.
Ju-
Not
yeah.
6. At least it's just one. For now, of course. Still got about 5 minutes to play. Because who knows what this physical play in the first half could cause for the second half.
it's been a chippy game. I mean,
has.
there's Cedar Rapids, as I say, they're fighting for their playoff future, and
Once again, Cedar Rapids' magic number is 2. Any combination of their wins or the Comets' losses puts them closer to a playoff berth. Sandoval at the top. Pressured by Hundelt. Quickly goes it over to Huffman. Down the corner, Alvarez throws it towards the middle. Down in front was a couple men. Now still loose, goes off the glove. Bradley gets the goal. As everyone was up and down, Bradley finally able to get a boot on that and just slip it past the Ambush defenders. And it's once again a tie game.
and Pablo comes out of the box. He's still giving the referee an earful. Again, you said it. He's got to be careful there. I mean, he could go back in the box for dissent.
Anything is direct your attention to the video boards.
Power play goal for the Rampage.
A
Scrappy goal, but they all count.
Text Slobo to 63975 to enter the win.
Once again, we are right back to a 0-0 game. 4:22 left in the second. As Alex Bradley gets that goal.
One of my boys from Milton Keynes, England.
I saw he was UK.
Yep.
I knew that was going to be mentioned at some point, so I didn't need to mention it. Pablo. This is the Lucas Almeida, and Almeida to Kostakis. That's the throw it back to Pablo. Paulo has a lot of space, takes the shot, blocked in front. Kostakis got there and tipped it, but couldn't get a shot off. Victor France moves forward, tried to knock it off the boards, blocked by the Ambush, knocked back on the near side to Bradley. Ambush with a lot of pressure as that ball is going to bounce out of play, and it's going to be Ambush ball. Or may have tipped off an Ambush play.
Yeah, he tipped off Almeida. He made a couple of blocks up there. I mean, Almeida's made himself very busy. Blocks, interceptions, tackles.
And Pablo in front of his own net gives it to Paulo. They try and clear it out. Does a nice job, knocks it off at Edwin Rojas and out of play. Right before Pablo is about to start that, we're going to get a timeout, the ambush call it. 3:30 left in the first half. Our score is 4-4. You're watching MASL TV.
How about a little kiss cam action?
Four our score with 3:30 left in the first half. Rather, is looking forward to the Cedar Rapids Rampage schedule. Their next home game scheduled for Friday, February 16th versus the Baltimore Blast. It is Celebrate Soccer Night, which means there are going to be half-price tickets, and it's also going to be Youth Soccer Night, as all the youth soccer teams will be there, and a clinic will be held at 5:30 before the game, which will be a 7:35 start. Be sure to get your tickets to that, as Rampage and the Ambush only have 2 home games left. The Ambush, including this one, and both teams play a monetary flash towards the end of their season. The last game of both their regular seasons, and both at home. Now Everton tried to get to Hernandez, stolen by Rampage. They go the other way, and a good goal by Bobby Hurwitz, streaking down the right wing.
And he hurt himself there. He was going so fast, he smashed it in the boards. Good goal. And he knew he was going to get hurt, but he still managed to get the shot away.
Scored by number 7, Bobby Hurwitz, his 15th.
Barely able to sneak it past the right side of Paulo.
And all that good work that the Ambush have done, staying in front, keeping the lead, is now evaporated with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. He hurts. I mean, he smashed his knee into that board pretty hard.
You could hear it from up here the second he hit the boards. And that, it is just one of the situations, as you said, he probably knew he was going just too fast, but he was already committed to the goal, got the goal, and then just about less than a second after that makes a big collision in the corner with the boards. He's still down,
you know, if he can't continue that, it's a big loss for the Rampage. I mean, he scored 15 goals this season. I mean, he's a hot player for them.
When going through a divorce or family law matter, it can feel like your whole life is hanging in the balance.
Stand up on his
Not
own way
knowing
and
what
watch
will happen to you and your family
Probably
can be
sore. He's
overwhelming.
walking off fine.
This can lead to feelings
He'll
of
run it off.
loss
He'll
and
be
anguish.
okay in a couple of minutes.
Having an attorney that focuses primarily on family law can give you some peace of mind. No matter the
Bobby
family law
Hurwitz.
issue, we are
Heading
here
to the
to help
bench.
you rebuild your life.
We'll see how many shifts he misses. And Danny Burko will start it for the Ambush, as they have Dylan Hundelt, Jerger Gibson, Axel Duarte, and Robert Acosta out there.
The Ambush with it all to do now. It'd be nice if they could even it up before half time, so they go into the dressing room with something to hang their hat on. It did concern me having played last night that they were going to be a little tired as this game went on.
Gibson tries the shot, didn't get all of it though. It usually just goes into House. He's under some pressure though. Now they back off. House sends it all the way down. A good header by Duarte. Gibson trying to win that battle. He couldn't knock it off the boards. The Rampage move forward. Alex Bradley gets it to Drew Russell. Russell, the shot blocked in front. And Gibson grabs it in the corner. Goes up against Bradley, then he goes down. No call though as Sandoval comes to go help. And it's poked free. Still no foul. Now there will be on the Rampage.
Little push on Berko.
Duarte's down. Gets up with ease though as the ambush will take over.
Duarte's upset over something. I don't think that there was much there for Duarte to complain about personally.
He's pointing to somebody on that Rampage end. We've had a chippy first half, and who knows what the second half will bring, especially if they start holding grudges. Now Adamson, he's pushed up against the boards, no call though. And Sam Guernsey will move forward. Now it's Gerson, drops it for Sandoval. Back to Sandoval. Sandoval open in front, goes over. The shot by Gunderson goes into the netting. Ambush will take over. Gives immediately to Axel Duarte. And Kostakis to Almeida. Moving forward is Kostakis. Knocked down, no call though as it goes back to Paulo. Lucas Almeida goes up against the boards. Still keeping possession as he moves back. Again back to his keeper. Minute 12 remain in this first half as Kostakis has to sell it real quick. Then he does. Gives it over to Duarte.
Last minute of play in this half.
Will go off for a change with 1 minute left in the first half. All off the glass, couldn't find JT. Then Kostakis takes a shot. Accidentally hit JT in front and then cleared all the way down by the Rampage.
You know, these two teams know each other extremely well. This is the 5th meet in the season, including the preseason game. You know, not even including all the players that have traded and switched teams between them. You know, I suspect off the field they're extremely friendly, but no quarter given here tonight during the game.
Impressive move by Everton.
That was some ninja stuff right there.
His head, or his feet rather, go way above his head. Just barely gets a boot on, immediately kicks it into the bench. A restart once again for the Rampage as a one-time header by Arriaga just sails over the net into the netting. As Paulo will grab that for a restart. 32.9 seconds remain. He's just gonna throw that right to Hernandez. Hernandez gets that stolen. Richard Schmerman's there. Now Schmerman streaking down the middle to the right to Hernandez.
Hernandez with some space.
Good shot, but a better save by House. Rampage take over with 16 seconds left. Throw it out, but it's kept in by Pablo. Pablo with some speed over to Everton. Everton lost that, goes back to Nestor Hernandez. And Everton lost it as they both go down. Moving forward is Huffman. Huffman tried to cut to the inside. He's knocked down. No foul, though, at the conclusion of the first half.
Bodies all over the place. The referee just said, you know what? Let's all go back to the dressing room. Crazy first half. Leads here, there, everywhere. Equalizing goals, blue cards. Everything an indoor game should be, I suppose.
And as the dust settles, it is the Rampage who are out in front, just barely 5-4. We will be right back with the second half of play. You are watching MASL TV.
ready for anything. At Mercy, your life is our life's work.
And now let's welcome back to the field our alumni dancers of the St. Louis Steamers, St. Louis Storm, and St. Louis Ambush.
Hello, Ambush fans. This is Chef Larry G., owner of Championship Catering. We serve the most amazing food for your wedding, corporate event, or just about any occasion. We are recognized as one of St. Louis's top caterers by Small Business Monthly. Check us out online at championshipcatering.com or call me, Chef Larry G., at 314-606-9520. And let's plan your party.
All right, you know, every game we look for our fan of the game. And Davis here is celebrating his 12th birthday. Bunch of people up there, right? All right, everybody say happy birthday, Davis. You are our Powerade and Coke fan of the game right there. Make some noise for Davis. And we want to thank Powerade and Coke for being our sponsors. All right, we are setting up for a little country club car wash competition. Now, you know how this game is going to work. I will explain it to you. They are hooking up a box around the center dot there, and it's kind of going to be like a little game of curling, but they are each going to play for a different section. Now, if one of them wins, that section's going to get a car wash inside and out. All right, we are fighting. We have two alumni players who are already fighting, which is great. Over here with the white soccer balls, we have Kim, better known as the Rocket, section 106. If he wins, everybody 16 and over is getting that car wash inside and out. And over here, we have got Bobby. He's going to have the yellow soccer balls, and he will be playing for section 116. Section 116, everybody 16 and up will get that car wash if he wins. What they're going to do is we're going to take some turns. Once we get the box situated in the middle there, they're going to kick a ball and try to land within the yellow box. They're going to go every other, take a turn until all the soccer balls are gone. Whichever soccer ball is closest to the center dot will be the winning section. Come on, guys. All right. Looks like we've got that final piece. And once they step out of the way, all right. Kim, Mr. Rocket, whenever you're ready. You can do it. That was pretty good, though. That was pretty good. All right, Bobby, you're up next. You can tell we're dealing with professionals because they're getting pretty gone close. Wow, that's going to be a tough one to beat. Bobby's up. Bobby says, oh, he was trying to knock him out, but he didn't do it. Now, if they get the ball knocked out, then it's out. We're going to see which one is the last one standing after they've been all kicked. All right, so right now, Section 106 is sitting in a pretty good spot. Let's see if Bobby can mess this up for you guys. Nope, that's way out, Section 106. Everybody 16 and up is gonna get a car wash from the Country Club Car Wash, cleaning your car inside and out.
Home. It's where your story comes to life. Trust CertaPro painters to create the perfect setting as each new chapter unfolds. We're easy to work with, and our professional painters deliver the highest level of service. So wherever life leads, your home follows. CertaPro Painters. We do painting, you do life. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com.
Alrighty, we are down here for a little Chesterfield Sports Fusion game of fun, getting ready for the Olympics. You see we've got our little Olympic rings. We got 2 contestants. They're gonna have 3 chances each. From this point, it's 1 point. From that second dot, it is 3 points. And from that far dot, it is 5 points. Whichever one of these guys has the most points as the end is gonna win 2 hours to Chesterfield Sports Fusion. Joey, you can come up to this first dot and take your first shot. You want me to hold those other ones? He wants to try to go through the circle. Nice job, 1 point. Donovan, you're up next. See if you can get a point. Got that point too. All right. Up here is 3 points. Nice job. All right. He got those 3 points. Donovan, can you get those 3 points? Nice, got that one. All right, now you're at the 5-point spot there, Joey. Oh, didn't get that one. Donovan, that means if you can get it through the circle, one of the circles, you are the winner. No pressure. No, that means we are still tied. We're going to give you 1 more shot each at this 5-point location. He's got the 5 points. Donovan, you got to make it in order to tie him. Oh, just missed it. That means Joey is our winner. And then Ambush would like you to join players and staff on February 22nd from 5 to 7 to play a laser tag, dodgeball, putt-putt, and more. Pick the players you want on your team.
Hey fans, before tonight's game, we had an alumni game featuring players from all eras here in St. Louis. The alumni jerseys were provided by Stengy Law Firm, founded in 2007 with one purpose, to provide men and women with the responsive and compassionate service they deserve. Stengy Law Firm is here to help you rebuild your life. You can contact them at 855-805-0595. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisements. At this time, let's welcome back our MISL and NPSL alumni players and friends. For those that came in from out of town, from the Kansas City Comets and Wichita Wings, please welcome Kim the Rocket Runfed. From the San Diego Sockers and Kansas City Comets, goalkeeper number 0, Alan Mayer. From the Kansas City Comets, number 7, Kevin Hanlon. He won 3 championships with the Cleveland Crunch. Goalkeeper 00, Otto Orff. He scored over 700 career goals. From the Milwaukee Wave, number 13, Michael King. Legendary head coach of the Wichita Wings is Roy Turner. Let's hear for our friends that came in from out of town to join us here tonight to help celebrate 30 seasons of indoor soccer in St. Louis. And now, let's welcome your St. Louis indoor soccer alumni. Number 17, Ricky Andrews. He came in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Number 44, Mike Apple. And kids. Number 7, Bobby Bozada. Number 12, Terry Muggsy Brown. Number 3, Matt Caution. Number 2, Ken Costello. Number 20, Jeff DiMaria. Number 13, Jesse Elmore. Number 35, Lindsay Kennedy Eversmeyer. Goalkeeper number 1, Nando Hernandez. Number 9, Fufi Elvir Kofedzik. Number 25, Mike Kirchhoff. Number 14, Mike Laposha. Number 15, Justin McMillan. Number 11 is Pat Mann. Number 23, DJ Newsome. Number 17, Paul Zarkey. Number 19, the Turtle, Mark Thomas. Number 21, the Big O, Dan O'Keefe. Number 13, Rich Reiniger. Number 3, Jeff Sindobry. Number 6, Joel Shanker. 00 is Jamie Swanner. Number 5, Tim Tadoni. Number 99, Jason Norsik, GK Union. Goalkeeper number 33, Pat Baker. Goalkeeper from Atlanta, Georgia, number 32, Brett Phillips. Goalkeeper, number 31, David Bursick. Number 2, the Pearl, Carl Rose. Number 13, Timmy Walters. Number 4, Steve Petcher. Number 10, Ty Keogh. Number 9, Kevin Hundelt. Number 15, Neil Cohen, came in from Dallas, Texas. Number 21, Joe Reiniger. And please welcome back number 10, Mark Fredrickson. Mark has been battling brain cancer. Going to make a full recovery. Welcome back, Mark. He is indoor soccer in St. Louis, number 7, Daryl Duran. Please welcome assistant coach Ike Beavis. Number 15, Mark Mosier. Goalkeeper, number 32, Eddie Gettemeyer. And the first ever head coach of the Steamers, Pat McBride. And the original owner of your St. Louis Ambush, he brought us our only professional soccer championship. Please welcome the good Dr. Abraham Hawatma. We invite everyone to join us on the field afterwards for an autograph session with all of our alumni players. Let's hear it one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for our St. Louis Steamer Storm and Ambush alumni and friends.
Elements Massage is a great fit for me because we customize every session to meet our clients' individual needs. We match them with the proper therapist for them, so we know when the clients come in, we'll be the perfect match for them to help them meet their needs.
As a professional player, it's very important to take care of our bodies, and Element Massage help us doing that. They're very tailored for your needs, and they take very good care of us.
Elements Massage is dedicated to improving the health and wellness of the Ambush players by providing their services prior to each game. Treat yourself to a massage and visit Elements Massage on Mid Rivers Mall Drive. Hey fans, it's time to get your season tickets for next season. You can get yours for as little as $150, which includes tickets to all 12 home games and free parking. Stop by section 121 on the concourse for more information.
It's time for a little DJ Prue dance cam. Let's see those dance moves.
Back at the Family Arena for this third quarter of play as the Cedar Rapids Rampage lead the St. Louis Ambush by the score of 5-4 heading into the second half of play. Very eventful first half, I'd say.
Was a bit, wasn't it? Lots of goals for a start. I mean, plenty for this crowd to get excited about. The lead ebbed and flowed. It was the Ambush that predominantly held the lead, and they kept getting pegged back by the Rampage, and then the Rampage took the lead right at the end of the first half. Lots of calls from the referee, lots of blue cards, lots of penalties, lots of 5s on 3s, 5s on 4s, and here we go again.
Cedar Rapids will start with the ball. Immediately throw it back to France. And hold it back to the keeper. As goals scored in the first half by the Ambush will include Scherzer, Gibson, Everton, Dylan Hundelt, and Robert Acosta was able to get his first goal on the year. The ball's thrown towards the middle and immediately grabbed by Hundelt. Gives it over to Lucas Almeida. Almeida throws it high up to JT. JT going up against the boards, has Hundelt, uses them. Hundelt lifts it over House, and it's a goal.
Second goal of the game for Dylan Hundelt. That is exactly how Everton would have wanted the team to start this second half. Great work by JT, hold the ball up, bang it off the board, and Hundelt's there all alone just to finish it off.
And what a way to start
Absolutely.
the third quarter. A very, very important quarter for the Ambush. We're able to hold KC scoreless throughout the entire third quarter. The first time this year they have ever done that against a team.
As I said before the game, we kind of laughed and joked about how the third quarter has been our Achilles heel, and it's important, especially after yesterday, that we don't slip up in the third quarter. We've collapsed in third quarters previous.
Dylan Hundelt.
Back at 5-5 and fitting, that's going to be Hundelt's 5th of the season. He needs one more for the hat trick tonight as House immediately clears that away from Gibson. Now Huffman able to get past Burko, and it's centered to Hurwitz. Bobby Hurwitz had a dangerous fall after his after the goal that made it 5-4. He's back out there though, clears off the boards.
Yeah, Hurwitz spent all of halftime stretching with their physio, making sure he was right and loose to play the second half. Big game for Dylan Hundelt tonight. His dad's here with the Alumni Game, and we had the parade of all the alumni players at halftime. Lots of familiar faces.
Now in front of these Cedar Rapids, have to throw it back out. Derek Huffman takes the shot, and a good save by Paulo.
Got down low pretty quickly there, Paulo. He really has found his feet in this league. You know, he had a shaky start. He was coming out too far, and he was getting caught in possession, taking needless blue cards. You know, when he was being caught. But you know, the last 10 games or so, he's really settled down.
Everton able to balance that a little bit with his foot. Now knocks off the boards. Had Hernandez in front. It was cleared out by Cedar Rapids and moved forward. It's Bradley down the left wing. Bradley loses it, and Pablo takes over. Good steal by perhaps Hernandez. As now Pablo gives it to Everton. Everton pulls back. He had Hundelt in front, trying to get the hat trick. Now Hundelt has the chance, and a good save by House, cleared out of harm's way. As Cedar Rapids clears that all the way to Schmerman. Schmerman all the way back as they'll ride the boards over to Paulo.
Hundelt saw his name in lights again there for the hat trick. Just couldn't quite get his shot away properly.
That's Pablo and Paulo going back and forth as Paulo has a lot of space to work. He throws it in the corner. He's got two men. Adamson tried to get there. Instead, Cedar Rapids gets there first, trying to clear it out. Not far enough as Russell got the ball poked away from him from Schmerman.
Good play by Schmerman. Just a toe poke away, but managed to slow everything down so that the Ambush defense could get all the way back, because otherwise it'd have been a 2-on-2 there for the Rampage.
Possession goes back and forth as Russell battling with Schmerman, able to poke it back to his keeper as Adamson was pressuring. Now Adamson behind House, he moves forward, knocks off the boards, and spinning around is Gunderson. Tried to go towards the middle, it was too high for everybody. And
Almeida is flying forward. If he can control this, there's a chance here.
Lifts it up high in the air, thought about the header, has men coming to help him, but not quick enough as Cedar Rapids sends that the other way with Russell. The shot, they've been blocked by Schmerman, and that's an easy save for Paulo. Almeida faked the pass, instead gives it back to his goalkeeper. Paulo with a lot of space to work. He's going to use it and giving it over to Pepe. Pepe to Paulo. Down for Jerger Gibson.
Slide the Rampager, inviting Paulo to come forward.
Gibson spun around and took a shot. He had a big game last night in KC. 2 goals and was able to grab the first star of the game. He already has 1 tonight. Paulo moving forward. Knocks it down, trying to find Gibson. Gets a piece of that with his head. Now in front, Axel Duarte picks it up off the boards and gives the ambush the lead once again.
And this game has ebbed and flowed. Great finish by Duarte. We've seen some really good goals here tonight. I've got to be honest, some clinical finishes, great headers. You know, on both sides have really put away some quality goals. Good work by Jerger. He had the height advantage to win the header off the board one time, and then Duarte just there, swing his right foot at it, and House is beaten again, and it's now 6-5 ambush. This game's far from over.
Dylan Hundelt, the only player to score 2 for the ambush tonight, as Axel Duarte gets his first of the season for the ambush. There's now JT trying to go past House. Increase the ambush lead. Instead, France going up against JT. They switch sides and throw it over to this near side. JT going to be in a race for it. Can't beat Huffman there. As Huffman wanted the foul, now he'll get it.
Ambush foul number 20, JT
It's going to be
Thomas.
Cedar Rapids ball in their own end. Trailing for the first time in a while.
Didn't think there was a lot there from JT, but Huffman's gone down. I've probably got his ankle clipped or his Achilles. You know, you get a slight knock on that Achilles when you go in full pelt, it kind of hurts.
A loose ball picked up by Robert Acosta to Nestor Hernandez. Now Burko has to get around one man. That's Alvarez. Briefly loses his footing and gives it to Acosta. Throws it towards open field. And Huffman will fake that and give it back to his keeper. And Huffman going up against JT.
Ladies and gentlemen, St. Louis
Over
Ambush
to
goal,
House.
his first of the season.
House
Scored by
moving
number
forward,
13,
trying to move past the
Axel
midfield
Duarte.
mark, but it was deflected by JT into the boards. And it's going to be a restart right in front of the St. Louis bench. So that'll be Edwin Rojas starting it for Cedar Rapids. We'll just immediately throw it back to his keeper over to Huffman. Huffman trying to get down, able to do so, moving it to Bradley. And back up top. Now Victor France under pressure from Pablo. Huffman throws it towards the middle. Bradley's there, has to settle it, then tries to get to France. Poked away from him from Pablo. Acosta tried to protect it so it could get to Paulo.
Ball just didn't have enough speed on it to get back to Paulo.
Well, he had to reverse it. Now fight up against the boards as Hundelt couldn't get the better of that. Instead, Alvarez drops it back for his goaltender. House sending it into the corner. Schmerman able to get there, stops it with his foot. Starter steps back from Gerson. Now to Corey Adamson. Adamson sends it far off the boards, looking for Everton all the way down in the far corner. It's going to be picked up by Hurwitz, though, given to his goalkeeper. Now Bradley under some pressure. Schmerman couldn't get the steal. Move forward up the boards. And it's Drew Russell on a 3-on-1. Almeida is the lone man back for St. Louis. Moving over the shot. Rebound, they score. Osvaldo Rojas got the rebound on the near side. And it's a tie game once again, this time at 6.
Duarte's on the ground. He looks hurt.
7 of the season.
I mean, 3-on-1 there. Gordy Gerson got the ball and he knew exactly what he was going to do. He just floated it to the back post and Rojas was there to finish it off. And it was Duarte and Paolo that collided.
In section 121, it's also your last chance to purchase bags of apples from
he seems okay.
For a chance to win a $100 gift card from Snooks.
Well, Duarte still on the ground being looked at.
And all square again. His game's had everything.
Birthday to Landon Mango.
Well,
also,
Hurwitz is able to recover from his injury. Hopefully Axel as well, as there will be a timeout on the field. With 8:05 left in the third quarter, you are watching MASL TV.
Woohoo! Oh, hey there, that's me. I'm Angela, I'm over here, and in section 117, every game we find a row of the game who is cheering and yelling and dancing. That's this row right here. They're each gonna go home with a Fazoli's free build your own pasta bowl. Fazoli is the post-game provider of the St. Louis Ambush. Say go Ambush!
Go Ambush!
Pizza-baked spaghetti is back at Fazoli's. It's only $4.99, including unlimited breadsticks. All-natural pasta, vine-ripened tomato sauce, real mozzarella, and pepperoni. It's 0% artificial, 100% delicious. Get it all for just $4.99, only at Fazoli's.
Champions, the Fire and Ice SC.
6-6 our scores. We are once again tied up between the Cedar Rapids Rampage and the St. Louis Ambush. Patrick Kelly and Matt Bird with you on the call. As Rojas was able to respond for the Rampage.
But I do think if you'd have said to Everton, with 8 minutes to go in the third, you'd be level again. He'd have taken that.
Cleared up in the air by the Rampage, moved all the way back to Paulo. Paulo at his own yellow line, keeps the pass on the ground, trying to find Gibson, intercepted by Bradley.
The thing is, this game gets longer and longer, so close. With Cedar Rapids needing a victory, this game is only going to get more physical, get chippier, there's going to be fouls, and the referees are really going to have to keep on top of their game. But here comes Hernandez now on the right-hand side with Deirdre Gibson at the far post, waiting for it, but Hernandez just couldn't get the ball to him.
Pepe grabs possession. Now Schmerman winds up, and that's right on. House able to hold on to that.
Good shot by Schmerman. He got plenty on it, but it was just straight at House.
He had Gibson in front. House moving forward now. Pressured by Almeida, able to get that off just in the nick of time, but it's too high into the netting. That will be ambush ball on their own side of the field.
Just makes me wonder, you know, how tired the Ambush are going to get, and you know, it's going to be a restart here maybe for the Rampage, because that went straight out. I think Pepe's arguing it took a touch, but I don't think so.
Very close. Just barely went over too. Kind of went between the spectator against the board's chest and the boards. So that will be a restart.
Yeah, it's little lapses of focus there. You know, that we've seen it all season, that little lapses of concentration have cost the Ambush, and I hope it doesn't come to fruition here.
And drop it to the corner, try the shot, but it goes high into the netting. That was Gerson with the chance.
Got away with that, the Ambush. That could have turned out way, way worse for them.
The Ambush still on their own end, push it back to Paulo. Paulo under pressure from Gerson, quickly gets it to Dylan Hundelt. Hundelt lifts it high in the air. Schmerman's racing there. He gets there, able to lift it even further. JT settles it. JT couldn't get to the middle. Now Hurwitz steals it from Burko. Being chased by Schmerman. Hundelt comes in, gets a clean tackle.
Great tackle by Dylan Hundelt.
Dylan Hundelt's having a game for himself.
Yes, he is.
Pressured by 2 Cedar Rapids players. They cough that up. And Hundelt back in. Again, able to knock over Gunderson this time.
You know, and it's things like that that's going to boost your teammates. You know, if they see Dylan Hundelt fighting like that, it's going to give them a little pep in their step as well, you know.
Pepe to Everton in front of the penalty box. Everton tried to feed it through a couple players, but it's able to find Hundelt. Everton, Pablo now. Pablo cuts the near side. Has Paulo wide open. Paulo with a lot of space. He's gotta wind up with that one. Shoots it well wide though. Now Pepe the chance. That goes wide once again. Rampage able to clear towards midfield. Pablo grabs it though. Gives it back to his goaltender. So a reminder to Ambush fans, on Sunday, February 25th will be the last Ambush home game. They'll face the Monterey Flash at 3 o'clock, as there will be a youth clinic going on from 10 to noon, hosted by Ambush players. You can go on the Ambush website and sign up for that. As Victor France comes in off the boards, almost went off Apollo's back and in. But didn't have the speed for that. As it goes back, Huffman settles that with his chest. Gives it for Guernsey. Well, Huffman tried to get it down towards the box, but Paulo stepped forward and grabbed that.
Come on, fans.
Settled on the ground up to Lucas Almeida. Almeida spinning around, trying to get off of Bradley. So has to give it to Paulo. Paulo clears it far in, trying to find Gibson. It's a high bounce, and Nestor Hernandez is able to get it in the corner. He threw it around, but it stayed on the boards and easily picked up by House. Bradley up against Duarte. Gets past him, tries to go far side. That went wide though. Now Bradley, a one-timer, tipped in front. But Paulo was there to settle that as there was a slow rolling ball. Paulo steps forward, once again trying to find Gibson. This time Sandoval knocks off his chest, and House grabs it. House gets it stolen by Almeida. It's going to be a race to it, but House is able to clear that out into midfield. Moving forward is Alvarez. Mario Alvarez tries to get around Hernandez. Has to drop it back for Sandoval. Now over for Osvaldo Rojas. Alvarez on the far side. On for Rojas, off the boards. They send it back up top, being pressured by Pablo. Over to this near side for Arriaga. Sandoval throwing it towards the middle, looking for the give and go. In the corner, the shot goes off the glass, goes by everybody. And back up top, Arriaga.
We're back and forth right now. Well played by the Rampage, but the Ambush defense has been pretty stout.
Ross in the corner, knocks it off the boards as he had a coast on him. Paul's able to settle that with ease. Almeida tried to find JT. Right up, but it's going to be Sandoval taking it. Sandoval to Alvarez. Alvarez can't get around JT, or Almeida has to back up with it. And over to Gunderson. Gunderson winds up with a shot, blocked by Dylan Hundelt. And moving forward to Schmerman. Can he win the race? No, he's knocked down and wants the call. A man from Rampage and the Ambush fell down.
Yeah, Schmerman's not going to get that.
He goes hard up against Rojas. That's cleared in the corner. Gerson off the glass as he had Gunderson in front. Goes off the boards and move forward. Danny Burko now grabs it on the boards. Danny Burko has JT with him instead. Cuts to the middle.
Good play by Danny Burko. He just took his time there. He didn't try and force a pass to JT and lose possession. He just kept the ball. You know, he took the pressure off his own defenders, and they could rest in possession a little bit, take a breath, because the Rampage has had a lot of ball the last 5 minutes. Been really impressed with Burko the last 2 games.
Paulo gets the pass. Tries to throw it towards open field, towards the left wing. Instead stolen by Rampage. Takes a weird bounce off the boards, and Paulo have to almost go into his net to grab that as he had Gerson right behind him.
Yeah, he took a weird bobble off the blue ledge there. Would have spun back into the goal, kind of. And here's Corey Adamson on his own.
Adamson, the shot, he scores! Corey Adamson gets the lead at 7-6.
I don't think Corey could have realized, he realized just how much time he had there. He's had plenty of time to settle himself. Put plenty of power behind the shot and found the bottom corner.
A huge goal as Adamson was led. He was all alone on that far side and just roofs that shot. A big goal for the Ambush, and they once again have the lead with just 64 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Reminder to all the fans that you're watching the Ambush on MASL TV. You can catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv.
Last minute of play in this quarter. Ambush go-ahead goal. His 12th of the
The Ambush are only averaging 5 goals a game, so they're already 2 above their average for the season. But the Rampage are only conceding 6.7. So the Ambush were going to need to up their average tonight to have a chance to win this game. And they've done that here with still 16 minutes to go in this game.
It's going to be a restart for the Rampage, as there was a handball as Hernandez had cleared that out, but apparently it touched his hand right beforehand. So Victor France knocks off the boards. Acosta immediately just barely clears that into the netting, so that's going to be a big restart for the Rampage right up top.
And wouldn't they like to get something here and now, right before the end of the 3rd quarter? You know, they're going to have to be disappointed. You know, they came into this 3rd quarter a goal up, and they're going to be leaving it with a goal down if they don't get something here.
So I think you could say right now, at least, the 3rd quarter was a success.
I would have to say so.
Victor France, the one-timer hard off the glass. Goes back to Huffman. So they're going to perhaps hold it. Instead, they don't. Gerson with a kick.
He tried one of them fancy scissor kicks. He wanted to do an Andre Hayen and get himself on Sports Center.
You got to do the full one to be on Sports Center for like Andre Hayen. So they go hard off the glass.
Andre Hayen will never do that again in his life. I still marvel at what he did.
Gerson weaves around the defenders to Hernandez. He tried to go hard off the board, just angled it a bit weird. It's going to be taken by the Rampage to end the 3rd quarter. As you said, they led by 1 heading into the 3rd quarter. Now they are down, heading into the 4th quarter. The Ambush up 7-6.
Solid quarter by the Ambush.
We'll be right back. You're watching MASL TV.
Fret over what you forget.
Schnooks is here.
With Schnooks Delivers, fresh groceries can be at your door in as little as 1 hour. You order, we shop, Schnooks Delivers. Sign up today.
All right, you can go ahead and start throwing those apples. I'm going to pick an apple that lands inside the basket or closest to the basket to win a $100 gift card, courtesy of Schnooks. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw those last apples in there. 512, you win a $100 gift card courtesy of Schnucks. And the Perez Family Chiropractic is over there. They've got some cool swag they're handing out. If you guys want one of these, you gotta scream.
Hey fans, the Ambush travel to Syracuse next weekend for games on Friday and Sunday. If you live near O'Fallon, head out to Hat Tricks Irish Sports Pub to watch the Ambush game. If you're in West County, visit the Post Sports Bar and Grill in Creve Coeur. Also, fans, it's time to get your 2018-19 season tickets here for the Ambush. You get season tickets for as low as $150, which includes tickets to all 12 home games and free VIP parking. For more information, stop by the Ambush table on the concourse or visit stlambush.com or call the office 636-477-6363.
Seven 6 our score heading into the fourth and final quarter of play. The Ambush are leading the Cedar Rapids Rampage. A quick reminder, the Ambush will be on the road next week. Friday, February 16th and 18th, they will be at Syracuse. That game on Friday, February 16th will be at 6. And the game on Sunday, the 18th, will be at 3 before they return home for their final game of the season. Once again on the 25th against the Monterey Flash. That kickoff at 3 o'clock.
Monterey Flash, the best team in the league right now. Bar none, not even close. And here's Everton with a shot.
Alone, oh, he hit the inside of the post. He was ready to celebrate. Now he gets a second chance, goes off the boards.
I was ready to celebrate. That could not have been closer. But yeah, Monterey Flash, they are the best team in the league right now. We're going to see some absolutely phenomenal soccer when they come to town.
Paulo got a piece of that in the corner. It's still loose. Bradley almost falling on top of Paulo as he grabs it right at the line. Nice save.
The Ambush need to finish this game strong, go to Syracuse, hopefully get a win, possibly more out there in Syracuse. Finish this year strong. There's every possibility that the Ambush could finish this year with 5 wins, which is so remarkably better than last season. And especially by the middle of this season, they still only had the 1 win. To finish with 5 would give them a real impetus going forward into next season. I think there's a lot of pieces in this Ambush team, that sets them well going forward. We're missing Padalera right now. Pablo's come in and made this defense his own.
I think one thing you can look at to see that the Ambush are the next up and coming is how much players from around the league want to come to this squad.
I think so too. And I having seen the organization now from the inside, I can't imagine there's a more professional outfit in this league. Honestly. And you're right, you're absolutely right. It's easy to see why players are queuing up to sign for this ownership group and play in front of these fans.
One thing I go back to is when they got Rafa from Florida, the Ambush did. I'm talking to them, and they say that there was a chance of him either coming to Cedar Rapids or the Ambush, and he went to both clubs. He simply said the Ambush just felt like home, and that was in the end, his decision. Pepe at midfield, trying to get around Victor France. France gives him a little bit of a push, and it's moved back to Paulo. Paulo almost losing it. Now Adamson at the midfield line. Instead, Cedar Rapids will have to kick it back. Now it's House. Being pressured by Adamson, sends it into the far side corner. Bounces over Gerson's head. Kostakis able to get a piece of that, sends it back forward and headed back in. Kostakis trying to lead JT, just a bit too far for him, but House has to come out of his net. He cannot touch that. He's diving down, able to get that ball off in time. Now foul called on the ambush as Hurwitz goes down.
Ambush foul number
Hurwitz and JT have had a running battle all night.
His first.
And as this game stays close, as I say, it's just going to get chippier as the game reaches its final moments.
Hurwitz over to House. Back to House wide open in the front of the penalty box. Into the Gerson. And back to House. So Derek Hoffman. Hoffman, wide open House.
You know, Cedar Rapids need a win. They play a very tough Baltimore team next week. You know, I know their magic number is 2, as you say, but those two they're playing are very tough games.
France has to back away from Adamson, almost loses it, but able to just barely get to Huffman. Now France against Duarte. France cuts down low, shot blocked in front by Hundelt. Still not out of harm's way as JT takes it to the boards. Almost loses it to Hurwitz, then JT comes away with it. Kostakis will finish the clearing attempt.
I'll tell you who's a big miss for the Rampage right now is Tony Walls too. He's a preseason training with St. Louis FC in the USL. They're at preseason camp in Florida right now. And he's a leader. Tony Walls is a leader. I think that's kind of what they've missed tonight, is just a leader on the ball.
It's been a back and forth match. Really anybody's game the entire game.
Still is.
House going back and forth with Sandoval. Sandoval moving it forward. Bradley able to get around a man. Now Drew Russell. Russell has Arriaga. He takes a shot just wide. Almeida clears it up to Everton. Everton falls down. No call though. As now Hernandez streaking forward. Has Almeida. Almeida off the boards, wide open, tries to lift it over. Then Hernandez with a chance. Everton now, bouncing ball, just gets a piece of it, and Hernandez with a header goes wide.
How did that not go in? I mean, 3 really good efforts. One wide, one saved, and one off the post, and really good sequence there by the ambush.
Ambush
just couldn't finish it off.
The ambush is still able to keep possession throughout that entire chance, kept getting chance after chance, then finally got the ball, just sat back and restarted. Now Paulo move forward with it past the midfield mark. Has some space to work, takes the shot well wide off the glass. Almeida with the one-time chance, blocked in front.
I think Gibson just tried to give it a little touch to deflect it, put the goalie off there.
Costa with a nice header. Trying to find Gibson right at the goal line. House is just barely able to push that forward. Oh, Costa going up against Russell, but Russell's going to move past him and Gibson. Cuts over to the far side. Now Gerson
Good job, Lucas Almeida, and here comes Gibson on his own.
Gibson has a lot of space to work with, takes the shot to the far side. Just barely gained a piece of that was House. Now House being pressured by Burko and Gibson. Just barely moves it forward to Arriaga.
Gibson's shot was going wide, but House didn't know that. He had to get his fingertips on to make sure.
Alvarez up against Schmerman.
Great tackle by Richard Schmerman. He has had a great game in defense, Richard Schmerman. And he's added to that with the goal too.
JT over to Duarte.
Attention fans, here are tonight's winners, the Andoro & Sons Pizza. Hear your name, please report to their table on the concourse.
Corey Adamson. Adamson couldn't get that past Alvarez. Second chance instead, knocked back by Alvarez to Paulo. Calls for Schmerman. Kostakis, now Schmerman.
Stella Allen.
Schmerman, the St. Louis native, throws it far to JT, who's able to settle that with his chest, had to lean down a little bit, tries to spin her on attempt, then he's knocked down as he was going for the shot. That's going to be a big restart for the ambush. They need to add to this lead.
I've got to be honest, I think JT sold that one. Huffman was not impressed with that call, and I don't say I blame him, but
Luis Costa.
JT doing what he had to do for his team.
And Laura Thal.
Rampage still talking over what to do. They moved a 3-man wall to a 2-man wall. It's going to be Pablo taking the shot. Instead, he's going to take a timeout, very smart timeout, as his team lead by 1 with 7:31 left. You're watching MASL TV.
Adam with me. We're over here in section 107. I'm going to ask you a question. If you get it right, you get 2 tickets to Marcus Warenberg Theater. You ready?
Never been more ready.
All righty. Here is your question. What player has been involved with soccer in every era here in St. Louis? Duran, Moser, or Reiniger? I hear people yelling answers.
I'm going to have to go with the letter A for Adam.
All right, he's going with Duran, and you are correct. He played and coached in 3 decades. You get 2 tickets to Marcus Warenberg Theater. Can I get a Go Ambush?
Go Ambush!
And happy birthday, Lincoln.
Hey, fans. Minutes. When they enter through the main lobby, please do not jump.
7:31 remaining. Ambush lead by 1 for a big restart. Over to Everton for the one-timer. The Ambush are able to keep possession, though, as France couldn't get a hold of that, and it goes back to Pablo. Pablo still being pressured by France, gives it over to Paulo, his keeper. The Brazilian knocks off the boards, trying to find Almeida. Instead, Huffman gets there first. Trying to fight off Almeida, able to do so. Moves over the middle to Sandoval. Now down the left wing, France. France on a 2-on-1, and he couldn't get that pass off as Hernandez got a piece of that. Now Almeida tried to push it forward to Pablo. Still going back and forth. Hernandez, a good attempt against the boards against Bradley.
It's kind of now or never for the Rampage. They're going to have to bring it, and this St. Louis ambush defense is going to be put under some serious pressure, I think.
Pass over goes just wide. Move back to Arriaga. Huffman up against Almeida, able to move to the left. Almeida still on his tail. Tries to go up against him, instead going around. So it's back to Sandoval. Victor France spinning around, shoots that just wide. Now France off the boards. Still loose in front of Arriaga, the chance. Gibson, and it goes in. Gibson tried to clear, and it deflects off of a Rampage player, and we're tied 7-up.
He just threw his boot at that, and Gibson just fired the clearance straight onto his boot, and it just pummeled past Paolo, and Paolo looks sick.
Rampage equalizing goal scored by number 88.
Here's the replay here.
Second of the game.
Just kept trying to go off the boards as it went off somebody's foot in front.
Came off Arriaga, I think.
Perhaps Arriaga. There were several foots there as Almeida was down as well. And no matter how it went in, it's a tie game once again with just 6 minutes left in this game. And why wouldn't it be, as they've been neck and neck all night. Pepe gets around a man, gets it to Burko. It's stolen at the last second by Cedar Rapids.
They got 3-on-2 here.
Hurwitz quickly moving forward. Sandoval in the corner off the boards, and it deflects off of a leg. Paulo has a lot of room to work, gives it up to Pepe. Pepe through the legs to JT. Back to Pepe. Pepe tried a shot that was blocked immediately. And grabbed by Edwin Rojas, cleared up to Osvaldo. It bounced out of bounds, and it's going to be ambush ball.
All to play for, Patrick. It always felt, though, that this game was going to turn out like this. It's been really, really close.
Ambush just barely keeping in. Kostakis, the nice pass over to Everton. Now off the board, Acosta moving forward, trying to steal that, but France joins in the mix. France knocks off at Everton, and it goes back to Duarte, all the way back in the ambush end.
Paolo again with a lot of room up this right-hand side, but he decides to hang back, you know. 9 times out of 10, he'd run forward and take a shot there, but he can't venture too far forward.
Reminder that the last time these two teams were here, it went to overtime. We are still tied 7-7. Clayton got the winner there. There's Acosta with a shot right on, and House makes a save. Quickly moves up to France. France under some pressure from Acosta. Pushed up against the boards, cuts to the middle. Everton was there, but he gets the pass away just in the nick of time.
You can sense the tension in the crowd. They know that this game is on a knife edge, and you can really cut the air with a knife here.
House trying to move it further down for Russell. There's a bit too far for him near the box. It's going to be grabbed, sent towards the middle, but immediately blocked by Costa. Now Pablo, he's taken down. That's going to be a foul right in front of the scorer's table. It's a very easy call for the referee as Pablo will restart it immediately again to Kostakis and right back to Pablo. Schmerman on the far side. Richard Schmerman gives it back to his keeper. Gerson pressuring, and over to Pablo. And it's chipped down to Richard Schmerman. He tried to flip it over to Gibson, instead stolen by the Rampage, and then Hernandez grabs it right back up top. Good back for Almeida. Ambush gets solid possession. Streaking towards the net is Gibson, and it's over to Almeida. The one-timer goes wide off the glass. Still in the Rampage end, though, as Alvarez can't get it out. Now Gerson tries to clear it out. He puts it right into the crowd.
Who wants to go, family? Let me hear ya.
This is a bad clear attempt by Gerson there.
Earlier in the season, if the Ambush would have took the lead and kept getting pegged back, at some point the heads would have dropped. You know, they'd have been like, oh no, here we go again. And that's not happened tonight. It didn't happen last night. And it's a different mentality. The team's always had the talent, but it's a different mentality now.
Pablo takes a shot. It gets deflected on its way through. House was able to see that. With just over 3 minutes left, it gets moved back to Paulo. And Corey Adamson. To Pablo. Pablo at midfield back to Paulo. Paulo moves around his team a little bit. Now Dylan Hund up fresh off the bench. Up to Almeida. Almeida to a wide open Pablo. He cuts around. Tries a shot blocked immediately by the foot of Guernsey. It's going to be ambush ball on the boards.
Ambush making all the running here with 2:45 left. If they're having chances, taking shots.
Everton winding up for a big boot. Sends it towards the middle as he had Hundelt. It's going to be stolen. Edwin Rojas with it. Being pressured by Hundelt, able to move it up to Gerson. Gerson in the corner. It's knocked off the ball by Duarte. Duarte waiting. Tries to move it forward, but it takes a weird bounce in front. And Alvarez gets taken down. No call, though, as the ambush will move forward with it. Duarte, and then Everton tips it with his foot, but it finds Almeida. Lucas Almeida walks in, the shot to the far side. Rebound by Gibson, just goes over the net.
Corner kick coming up here for the ambush.
And that's going to be declared. It was tipped off of a Rampage player.
A couple of good shots by Almeida in the last 2 minutes.
Come on, fans.
Gibson just couldn't settle down and get on top of that rebound.
He's moving in quick. There's a 2:10 left. We're going to have a big corner kick for the ambush. Almeida will kick it. Lucas Almeida with his team leader around Pablo, pass that no one was there. Schmerman has to race back. He's knocked against the boards by Edwin Rojas. No call, though.
That would have been a blue card in the first quarter.
Schmerman is down. He's in some pain.
He just got pushed into the boards.
As the fans wanted to call immediately from that collision, you could hear it from up here, the smack of the boards.
It's where your story comes to life. Trust CertaPro painters to create the perfect setting as each new chapter unfolds. We're easy to work with, and our professional painters deliver the highest level of service. So wherever life leads, your home follows. CertaPro painters. We do painting, you do life. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com.
Let's be honest. We're basically in de facto golden goal situation.
So the ambush will get the ball in their own end. Pablo will move it up to Pepe. Less than 2 minutes remain in this tied game. It's kicked all the way forward, trying to find Everton. Couldn't get the header on it. Bounces off the boards. It will stay in, though, and then Pepe going in for the header will pick up the foul.
Pepe is second.
Rampage quickly move it to Arriaga. Up to House. House to Huffman down for Victor France. France trying to get around Pablo. Gets to the Huffman. Huffman goes up against Everton, tried to lift it over him, but it's a bit too high. And goes into the netting.
Bit of a lazy shot there from Huffman.
Just 86 seconds remain in this fourth quarter. Paulo fakes it and sends it all the way down, trying to find Gibson. Gibson has a man with a hand around him. It's going to be a foul.
Big restart coming up for the ambush.
You could see that as the ball was arcing towards him. One of the Rampage players had their arm around.
Yeah, he was wrapped the ball around him.
Easy call for the official. Victor Francis still arguing with the referee about that call. It's going to be Pablo with the reset. He's got Pepe to his left. Pepe's wide open. Will he use him? To Pepe, the one-timer, goes off the foot of House, high up in the air, stays in play though, loose in front. And Cedar Rapids is able to clear that forward. Burko keeps it in, moves around one man off the glass. Still just barely stays in below the boards. It's up Pablo with 1 minute left. Moves against the boards, gets around Alvarez, and Gibson went off the boards, but Cedar Rapids cleared that out. Now Alvarez could have a break as he got behind Burko.
Well done, Danny Burko, but he lost it.
Bradley to Alvarez, nice slide tackle by Hernandez, and Gibson another tackle. Gets that back for the ambush. Now Danny Burko loses it. Victor France moving forward with Bradley. It's a 3-on-1 to France. He's got a wide open shot. Paulo gets over. What a save!
Massive save from Paulo. And Victor France knows it. Victor France knows that was the game. Great save by Paulo with his feet.
Now Victor France will get the restart at the yellow line. Gibson the lone wall. To Huffman with 25 seconds left. Moving forward. There's House. He's already been caught out of his net once tonight. House has the shot. Uses his left foot. Deflected by Gerson wide. Picked up by Pablo. He'll lift that high in the air. And the header by House keeps it in the ambush end. 3 seconds left and Victor France settles it. And we will head to overtime for the third time this year. Ambush fans will get treated with overtime the second time against the Cedar Rapids Rampage. We will step aside real quick and be back with overtime. You're watching MASL TV.
For mouth-watering food, come to Stefanina's Pizzeria and Restaurant, where we use Steph's old Italian recipes to prepare your pizzas, pastas, salads, steaks, chicken, seafood, and a long list of appetizers. Delicious homemade sauces and all the best ingredients will make family-friendly Stefanina's your favorite place to eat. Check our website for nightly specials, events, and prizes. Order online or come to one of our 5 locations. Owned and operated by Steph's children and grandchildren, Stefanina's Pizzeria and Restaurant delivers true original Italian recipes. Steph'sPizza.com.
Back at the Family Arena for overtime as the Ambush and Rampage could not find a winner after 60 minutes, so they require an extra 10-minute period. Dr. Kelly and Matt Bird with you on the calls. Gerson will start with it for the Rampage.
Bonus football.
It's all we can ask for. As House clears it into the Ambush end. Goes up against the glass, headed out of the way by Costa. Now loose in front. Hurwitz fakes it, takes the shot, blocked in front by Pablo, who was down on the ground.
Big block by Pablo.
Sandoval directs his team a little bit, then gives it to House. House being pressured by JT, rings it down the boards, but it'll find its way to Paulo. And Paulo heaves it forward. Everton couldn't get there, but Almeida sells it with his chest. Schmerman racing back, able to push it to Pablo. Pablo.
Big interception by Hundelt.
Goes over to Everton. Everton, the first chance. He falls down and couldn't get the rebound. as him and House were both falling down.
And that was a big chance, you know.
Settled by Pablo and lifted all the way forward. Everton couldn't settle that. Almeida does. Victor France gets there before Everton. Pushes it back to his keeper. Now it's over to Victor France. Gets bumped by Almeida. Then Schmerman gets it to Almeida. Off the boards. And cleared out by Cedar Rapids. Back into the Rampage end. The English player is down. It's going to be a foul. As Pablo is going to be helped up by Gunderson.
Didn't see what happened there. It was kind of late. The ball was already gone. But Pablo's walking kind of gingerly.
That was on number 4, Robert Gunderson, his first.
And Pablo will restart it for the ambush. Drops the record Pablo, and he'll go off for a change. Now comes Axel Duarte. Schmerman. Paulo under pressure from Gunderson, clears it all the way down. It's going to stay in play. And Everton, he almost got the steal from Huffman. He goes over to the near side. Victor France under some pressure. Duarte steals it, kicks it towards the net. It was stopped by Huffman. Now Schmerman back up top for Lucas Almeida. Go over to player coach Everton. Everton waits a bit. They'll go over to Almeida. Almeida bounced backed a little too far off that ball, taken over by Gerson. And Huffman will just give it back to his keeper. Pushed forward, then stolen immediately by the ambush. Duarte knocked down. That's going to be a foul on Edwin Rojas.
Edwin Rojas, his first.
Duarte will have to be quick. Gets it to Mr. Hernandez, rather. Hernandez pushed down against the corner.
But he still got it.
And he knocked down again, but he still has it. Now a second man for the Rampage comes to help, and they're able to clear it all the way down. Paulo out of his net to grab it. Couple changes made as Pablo is back out for Duarte.
First 3 minutes of this overtime, it's been all ambush.
Hernandez, wide open, as blocked in front by Rojas. Now it's Osvaldo Rojas. Gives it to Gerson, he's going up against Schmerman. Schmerman's gonna win that battle, but he's gonna pick up the foul. That'll be a restart in the corner for the Rampage.
Gerson doing Gerson things there. Chance here for the Rampage to steal this. Heart in mouth time.
It's going to be Gerson to start with it in the corner. Gerson looking up top and said they're going to take the timeout with 6:44 left in the overtime period. We'll take a break. You're watching MASL TV. Seven our score, 6:44 left in this overtime period. As Gerson's in the corner for Cedar Rapids, trying to steal this one for the Rampage. Gerson waiting, throws it in, the one-time goal goes in, and Cedar Rapids is able to get the win. Sandoval picks up the win. There's the game ball right there.
The ball nearly his.
So Cedar Rapids was not able to pull off the win last time they went to overtime here in St. Louis, but they get it here tonight. Joshua Sandoval gets the winner.
Tonight's game, the autograph session
Wins
will begin
8 to
here in
7.
about 5 or 10 minutes. You may enter through the main lobby, please.
They
do
stole
not
it.
jump over the board.
I have to admit that they stole it. They had what, 2 leads in the game, and you know the ambush huffed and they puffed. They just couldn't find enough space to give themselves some sort of cushion. The Rampage kept finding a way to equalize. The Rampage had a couple of leads, but it was the ambush's game there. They had the chances to win. They even had chances to win in the overtime. But that's why the Rampage are going to the playoffs and we're not, because they can finish the game.
Cedar Rapids magic number turns down to 1 with the win here over St. Louis. A reminder for Cedar Rapids fans, your next home game is Friday, February 16th versus Baltimore. It is Celebrate Soccer Night. You can get half-price tickets, and there will be a youth soccer clinic starting at 5:30 before the 7:30 kickoff. Meanwhile, for Ambush fans, it's Fan Appreciation Day on Sunday, February 25th. Kickoff will be at 3 versus the Monetary Flash, and there will also be a youth clinic. That's going to take place from 10 a.m. to noon. Make sure to sign up on the St. Louis website. So the Rampage win 8-7 for Matt Bird. I'm Patrick Kelly. Have a great night. We'll see you later on MASL TV.
The St. Louis Arena has been a symbol for indoor soccer that has been played here for better than a decade. The Steamers were so successful for many years. Now it's a new age in St. Louis. The Storm, they'll take on San Diego tonight. Lucky he didn't block that last Frecky shot. Here's Frecky again. The shot. A score off foul.
And he blasted by Victor Nagara.